So, man, oh, man, this season has been unpredictable in some ways for the Steelers, but it's been predictable in other facets. So it's looking like the Steelers, when they get to this point in the year, I mean, the Steelers, I don't believe that they've won a playoff game in like 8 years. And they haven't got into a conference final game in a long time under Mike Tomlin. They're 8-13, and they're on like a 5-game losing streak in the postseason. And it's another trip to a cold weather city. Now, it's not Buffalo again like it was last year. But really, this offense is really struggling heading into this game. And that, of course, is going to be a huge hindrance for the Steelers. I mean, they only throw the ball for about 197 yards a game. And they don't even run the ball that well. They're only averaging like 4.4 yards a carry, 4.1 yards a carry. And they're running the ball the fourth most amount of time. So, with Arthur Smith, again, I like Arthur Smith. I love the physicality that the team tries to play with. I like that he tries to do this throwback style. But you got to also keep the defense honest. So in this game, like if the Steelers ever get down to this high-powered Ravens offense, it's going to be a lot like last game, where when you're down by a score or you're down by 10 points, it just feels insurmountable. And then Russell Wilson is put in a position where, frankly, when the Steelers aren't playing on parallel with the opponent and they have to throw the football, that is when they will get beat, and they will get beat badly. They are not built to catch up. And really, this season has changed because earlier in the year, you were playing teams like the Giants, the Jets, other opponents, Washington. Who else? Like the Redskins I mentioned. Who the heck else did the Steelers play earlier in the year? The Raiders on the road. But the offense was able to score in the 20s, and Russell Wilson was able to hit explosive pass plays. And against Cincinnati earlier in the year, they were able to hit those plays. What I really think has transpired is George Pickens has been injured, and then George Pickens has been really not composed on the sidelines, and maybe it's getting to his play because he dropped 3 passes, had to be consoled by Russell Wilson and other players during that situation. So they need George Pickens to be an alpha. They need George Pickens to go for 135. You should call the game aggressively. I also think that Justin Fields needs to be implemented into this game. He needs to be the surprise wrinkle for this team. They can run the ball, Fields. Fields can throw the football. I know that Wilson has led you to this point, but Russ, I mean, they've lost 4 straight games, and they've looked terrible. Like against the Eagles, they were, offensively, they didn't put together kind of any sort of game. Against Kansas City, they struggled mightily. They've just scored 14 points in every one of these games. And Baltimore, this could be an absolute rout. And it's frustrating that you're in purgatory, the Steelers, because the defense is honestly good enough to go out there and win. The special teams of Chris Boswell is right there, good enough to win. And really, Freiermuth is a solid player, but this receiving core is really poor. And the quarterback play is just getting worse and worse. And I guess that's what you expect when you're basically paying a guy for free in Russell Wilson and then also having Justin Fields. But really, I know Arthur Smith is too scared a lot to turn over the ball, and same with Tomlin. But these guys need to be creative, and they need to be urgent. And with Mike Tomlin teams, he wants to control every single part of the game, but Tomlin needs to let go and let his playmakers on the outside make plays and be really aggressive with threatening the Ravens down the field. You need down the field strikes in this game if you're somehow going to beat the Ravens. And it requires really the Steelers to go play action on first down, surprise the Ravens, and get some chunk plays down the field so you can at least get field goal attempts and at least try to score. because the passing game will open up the run game, but you really need to get Pickens right. If Pickens is checked out for the season, the Steelers are certainly going to be checked out. And I don't think Fields or Wilson against this pass rush on the road, I don't think that Arthur and Tomlin are going to change. And it's looking right now like you're heading right into an absolute just beatdown in Baltimore again. And that's what I'm probably going to predict. I'm going to predict the Ravens to win this game. I'm going to predict them to cover in the game. I know that the Steelers' defense can be tough. I know that Lamar Jackson at times in the playoffs can underproduce and can force the ball and turnovers. But the Steelers' offense just looks like it can't even beat a high school team, and it's not a threat. And you take the better quarterback, you take the better offense, you take a team that can actually move the ball, and really George Pickens and Calvin Austin, this passing game, once defense has caught on to it, it's been a massive failure. And George Pickens needs to somehow have a game that he had like 10 weeks ago and go for 140. And Russell Wilson needs to become Moonball Russ again and have one of the games of his life if the Steelers are going to have any ability to win this game. This is like Russ's final straw, because what NFL teams are going to want to go into the season with Russ as their quarterback when they see that Russ is similar to a Sean Payton-led offense where you're throwing the ball for 170 yards every game. So, and same with Fields. So maybe Arthur Smith, is he ever in his career going to have a quarterback that is anyway decent? Or is Arthur just going to be dealing with Russell Wilson? Is he going to be dealing with Fields? Is he going to be dealing with Desmond Ridder, Ryan Tannehill? I guess that could be the destiny of Art. Or can Arthur Smith actually have, really decent, solid quarterback play? Maybe the Steelers can go out and get an older Aaron Rodgers and pair him with a Jalen Milroe and see, can Aaron Rodgers do something? Because this passing game is just abysmal, and it happens every year, and it's the same problem. And you have to address the lack of explosive plays on offense. That's the key to winning football games. I know that turnovers matter, but even against the Dallas Cowboys, they turned it over like 5 times. And when you have an offense that can't attack, it's a problem. And against the Cowboys, I think it was also Fields who was in that game as well. All righty, guys. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping for a good football game. I'm hoping that somehow this offense can be really aggressive down the field, can throw the ball up there, maybe get some pass interferences, maybe move the ball. Just see some aggressive, unpredictable play calling, and let's see if it happens.